Okay, so I haven't done a tutorial video in probably, God, I don't know, some years now. But I am working on a wig um, that is actually tangled in the cords to my ring light and camera. So I can't show you the wig, but the wig, I am incorporating Marley hair. I'm doing the wig in locks. And so one of the problems that I was having with sourcing hair was that I could, of course, not find the colors of hair I needed in a similar texture. Like, I think for Marley textured hair specifically, I could only find things like natural and blue, which my own hair is what gave me the idea to do this wig. Anyway, so I was thinking about some tutorials I had watched in the past and looking at how hair is textured typically, and I had an idea to texture the hair I intended to use. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. Figured it's as good a tutorial as any. So the first thing you want to do is take about a lock or braid size. Like if you've ever done your own braids, you would take about that much hair. Probably about half the thickness of your pinky finger. It's a good size. And that size chunk of hair, you can do, I'm doing this in locks. You can do this to a wig, like an entire wig in pieces. The things you're going to need, of course, are your hair. I have two. This one is awfully shiny, but it's like a light olive green and a regular olive green. I'm going to blend those together to get the color that I want. You're going to need some pretty long hairpins. These are, they're 3 inches long. I don't know if I can actually get the camera to show it. Oh, whatever. There we go. 3-inch long hairpins. Not bobby pins, the hairpins. The kind that you use to actually get a wig to stay on. They look like this. And you'll need probably about 2 per length of hair. The first thing I do is pull them apart so it's a wide V as opposed to the narrow V it normally comes in. And okay, so now I'm going to take my hair, I'm going to shuffle blend the fibers, which if you've ever done like multicolored locks or multicolored braids where you have like 2 or 3 colors in the same braid, you might be familiar with this. But yeah, you just kind of finger spread them, pull them apart, put them back together so the lengths are about the same. Oh, crud. Alright, so that's good and uniformly blended, more or less. Alright. So you can start this with, hey, probably wants rubber bands too. You can use these or the vinyl ones. The actual rubber ones hold up to heat better. So if you're using loose hair, loose fiber, you probably want to do this just to have something to like mark where the loop is. Oh crud, I forgot to split this. This is about 2 braids worth. Okay, so you probably want about this much hair. You see like how thick that is compared to my thumb. I don't know. So there's that. And so what you want to do, you want to take one of your pins. And this is actually, I believe, close to, and you're going to wrap in a figure 8 around the pin. And then push it down as you go. So figure 8. And you're going to push it down, figure 8. And push it down. You're going to keep going like this till you about, with the compacting, about 3/4 of the way up the pin. And of course doing this, oh fudge, of course doing this is going to cause the pin to pull together. So when you get probably about 1/3 of the way up, or you know, close to half, just spread the pin apart again. Now if you want the texture to be even tighter, you can kind of twist it, but that just adds to the complexity. So this is too much hair for one pin, of course. So you're gonna take a second pin and you're gonna line it up with the first pin, and that'll give you a little bit of extra length to work with. And once that's set up, now, like I said, you can do this on a wig. If you do this on a wig, you're not going to need the rubber band at the end, because of course the ends of the hair are anchored. But yeah, you do this until you get down to probably like the last, I don't know, it's about as long as your pinky. And then very tightly wind the ends. So you wind up, if you're doing this with loose hair, you wind up with something that looks like this. And it holds onto itself pretty well, but if it starts unraveling at the end, you can try twisting it. Sometimes that helps. And if it really insists on not holding, you can use a rubber band to secure it. Now the reason why you want this to hold up to heat is because you're going to take these and you're going to dunk them in a pot of boiling water. So I've already done a couple just as a test. So this was with the lighter of the olive green that I was using, and it does make it a little less shiny. I don't know if that's the boiling. It's probably the boiling. But you're going to take this off. This was one of the ones that I was able to secure without a rubber band, but I think I might have wrapped the ends too tight. Okay. I'm gonna fight with this a little. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So you very carefully are going to pull this off, and you can either slowly unwrap it or you can try and pull it, but like you probably want to go slow for this. There we go. All right. And as you can see already, it's in a pretty tight curl. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to take some doing to get it off the pins. There we go. All right. Okay, so that's one pin out, and the second pin usually comes out fairly easily. So now we have shrinkage. This is typical of the shrinkage. The ends are not going to be great. So what you can do, and I had these just a second ago, is get your hair scissors, wherever my hair scissors are. Here we go. Okay. And cut like the fried looking bits off. Cause like natural 4C, natural type 4 hair doesn't really taper like that at the end. Usually the curl pattern's pretty uniform. So that's one of the giveaways of artificially textured type 4 hair, is that usually the ends are kind of, they have the curl tapers, the curl pattern tapers. So yeah, undoing this, just finger detangling, if you're familiar with that. This is definitely textured, and like what you can take like your detangling brush probably, or a comb, and you just undo this, or you can start from the loop if you feel so daring. And kind of just pull it apart. Be careful though, because it can tangle on the way down, and that'll be fun. Yep, like it just did right here. Whoops. Okay, I'm either gonna have to cut that off or very carefully comb it out. And there we go. So now you have a full length of type 4 braiding hair that is very similar, once I stretch it out, to the texture of this pre-purchased Marley hair. It's actually like a little tighter, but it's softer. This is really crunchy. And now you can get this in any color you can find synthetic hair. That's it.